name with title, branch of military, years served.
My name's Lance Emerson. I was in the United States Air Force from 1986 to 1994.
Kenneth R. Elliott Sr., United States Air Force, 1974 to 1981.
First Sergeant Robert Titu. I was in the Army Reserve for 5 years, and I served 21 years in active duty infantry in the Army.
Why did you choose to join the military?
I wasn't thinking about going to college. I wanted to do something for myself, so I decided to join the military.
When I graduated, started working in the construction field, building houses from frame to finish, and I got bored, and I kind of looked at some other things I wanted to do to go to college. And I joined the Army Reserve as an engineer, as a draftsman, and a surveyor. And I continued on serving, and I said I liked it, and I joined the active duty, the fighting part of the Army, or the combat arms, and really enjoyed it over several deployments.
Why did you pick the service branch you joined?
Because it was only 6 weeks of basic training, and also it sounded like the easiest basic training, because I just wanted to get through that part so I could move on.
I sat down with all the services, took a look at what opportunities that were out there, and the United States Army Reserve offered me the exact job I wanted. I was a construction person, and I wanted to kind of continue on with that. I was a really outdoors person, and I wanted to continue to serve, and I wanted to go overseas somewhere.
Where did you serve?
I started out at Barksdale, Louisiana, and then I went to Osan Air Base, Korea, back to McChord and Desert Storm in Saudi Arabia, and Operation Restore Hope in Cairo, Egypt, and also spent about 8 months in Ramstein Air Base, Germany.
San Antonio, Texas, Sumter, South Carolina, Kadena Air Force Base in Japan, and Utapao, Thailand.
What was boot camp like?
Boot camp to me was very easy, and I knew what to expect for some reason, and yeah, it was easy.
Boot camp, it was a new experience because I've never been anywhere until I went to boot camp, so I met a lot of people from different parts of the state, so it was interesting.
Do you remember arriving and what it was like?
It was scary. I was walking to the unknown. We arrived on a Friday night. We stayed the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We were very unkempt. We didn't have haircuts and we didn't have uniforms. We got all that Monday, so it was kind of different.
When I first arrived at training, I kind of knew what expectations were. I was 21 at the time, so I was a little bit older, and I was prepared for it. It was no big deal.
How did you stay in touch with family?
Periodically I would call home, but for the 8 years I was gone, I really didn't stay in touch with family hardly at all, because I was on my own and traveled, and that was what I did.
I wrote my family and friends, and that's pretty much what, you lost connection with a lot of high school friends because you were gone for so many years.
What did you do while on leave?
Did a lot of traveling every year, but when I was in Germany, I went to England and France and Italy, a lot of places in Europe.
When I was at home, I enjoyed being at home because being in the military, it's kind of hard to say when you're going to go home again.
What was the food like?
Oh, we were in the Air Force. We had great food.
The food was all different, and all these different countries that I've been to, it's all a little bit different, and it kind of gave me more different exposure. So now I can eat anything. It doesn't matter.
Do you remember the day your service ended? What was it like?
Yes, I got out in November 4th, 1994. It was a glorious day because I felt liberated. Even though my time in the service was okay, I was ready to go. And when I got in my truck and drove out the gate, it was good to see in the mirror.
I was sad and I was happy, but I knew I was on the way home to see my family.
Did you make any close friendships while serving?
I can't say I made close friends. I made some friends. The way it is now with Facebook and Instagram and whatever, you can get in touch with people that you haven't seen for years, but I haven't seen anybody or heard anybody from anybody since I've got out of the service in 1981.
Most of my friendships that I have probably about 1,500 friends on Facebook. I have a lot of people all around the country and in multiple different countries, and I still stay in touch with a lot of the people that I served with. I did reunions after the deployments because I knew that was a really important thing to be able to do. So I've done 2 different reunions back to Colorado and back in Georgia over the past 5 years.
How did your experience serving affect your life?
It gave me more reason to do things, be positive. With the military behind your name, that kind of gives you a push or an edge when you go out and apply for a job.
Serving definitely affected everything. Where I met my wife, where I had children, they were in different states that they were born. I have friends from all around, and it's just different experiences.
Share a short story or memorable event.
When I was in Cairo, we were there for a pretty long time, and it was during people would fly from Germany into Cairo and Cairo to Kenya and Somalia during the Black Hawk Down era, and we went to the Marriott Palace Hotel because we did security at all the hotels in Cairo, and this lady was like in her 80s. She was visiting for a 3-4 day vacation trip that they booked. So they rotate people in and out of the country back then all the time. And we were telling her what to do in Cairo. She kind of looked funny, like, how'd you do that much in 3 days? Kind of looked at each other because we were in civilian clothes and no one knew that the military was there. And we said, well, we've been here 6 months. And she goes, 6 months? How'd you afford that? And then we were kind of caught off guard, and she was kind of a little bit older, so we're like, well, we're here with the United States government, and we're just kind of here watching things. And we're not supposed to tell you that. And the lady kind of looked at us and just was high-eyed and like, oh, I won't tell nobody. And I was like, that's good. Keep it to yourself. And then we moved on. And it was just funny that the way it happened.